game is too smart for you. I just think this game is too smart. You've been criticizing it this whole time, but I think.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm here, and I'm probably going to look for the warden. I'm probably going to reload a save, just so I can start the fight with full health.
It's just for me.
So how much do you remember from last night?
We made it to the control. We were looking for the cure for Dan, and then Meme Man came up and was like, "Yo, look at how many roids I'm on."
Yeah,
And
but
then he was like, "Look how many more roids I'm on."
actually, I don't think he was happy about that, unfortunately.
He says verbally, um, something about sacrifices. The sacrifices have to be made. So he seems pretty alright with it.
I don't remember that at all. Like,
I did.
you might be talking about the warden man, not the actual guy.
No.
But do you remember why they're doing this now?
Yeah.
Why are they doing it?
Evolution.
We need...
Or I can't do it in the lab. I gotta just throw shit at the wall.
Yeah. By the way, I did see a video that actually gave, in my opinion, a better explanation that the game would have used, which is Patient Zero can be recreated in the lab, so maybe it has to be recreated in a situation like this. Which there is some precedence for. I don't know if you know this, the Alpha and Omega thing with wolves does not exist in the wild. It just doesn't happen.
Huh.
So,
So it is a phenomenon, but it is not a wild phenomenon.
it's unnatural.
I heard it just didn't exist. Period. But okay, good to know. Anywho, been playing Pokemon on challenge mode. This will be interesting. So I've been debating almost all day what I'm actually going to be using on my team. So I'm going to... My starter is the Fire-type starter, Tepig, who will become the Firefighting Embor, who is slow but powerful.
See?
And then I decided a lot of my other Pokemon are going to be specially picked because this is challenge mode. I chose... since it was hilariously easy to get, Lugia is my second Pokemon.
Interesting.
Because all I had to do to get it was plug Soul Silver into my DS, and then play a bit of the Pokemon Dream Radar, which had all my save data on it still. And I could just catch it, and the Pokemon's level is tied to my amount of gym badges. I had no gym badges. I get a level 5 Lugia. So, and funnily enough, it was the weaker of the Pokemon that I was using at the time because it only knew Weather Ball and Whirlwind, and Weather Ball only has 50 power unless it's in a special type of weather condition, and Whirlwind doesn't do any damage. So, and Bite is a common move early on, and it's a psychic type, so it was getting killed by puppies.
Alright.
I've now beaten the second gym, and I'm trying to grind up in Dream Radar to catch Tornadus, my third team member, who is, yes, another flying type, but my favorite part about Tornadus is that it is the first ever Pokemon in the series, 500 Pokemon in, that is pure flying type. And I'm going to also be using an Azumarill. I assume you remember that Pokemon.
Kinda? I mean, it's
Meryl evolved form.
Yeah.
But in this game, they started adding hidden abilities, And if I go to a certain area and catch a Meryl or an Azumarill, it'll have its hidden ability, which is Sap Sipper. And since Sap Sipper is a newer ability that wasn't in Gen 4, whenever a Pokemon with Sap Sipper is hit with a Grass type move, okay, it doesn't do any damage and they gain attack power. So a Water type just lost its main weakness to Grass.
Grass still is better. Fight me on that. All right, are you ready? Cause let's wait. Say again.
I'm thinking if I had anything else to say. I'm gonna be trying to using a dark type so I can use Thief to steal moves or steal held items from my enemies, but I don't know what to use between Crocodile, who's part ground type, or Zoroark because I haven't used one before. And then last Pokemon is up in the air what I'm using.
Ooh, hello. All right, so let's do the inventory count. Let's see what we're going in. So full inventory, just full everything.
Roulette.
I presume that's 94. That may just be 84, and then that.
I think that's 10 and 84 remaining.
Yeah.
It's 8 and 33 remaining.
So almost my whole inventory. I am ready to finish this. So another thing I should specify about the boss fight with Captain Ferris when he's roided up. I have to dodge correctly, which the game has not been making me do this entire time.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is
you getting hit a lot during that first phase.
what I'm saying is you have to dodge in the direction of where he swings at you, which is something that none of the other enemies do in this game.
Not a one.
And
It's kind of important in this combat game.
Had I not known about that, I would have taken a lot more damage. But my goal is to start off with full damage. I don't want to get hit all that much, and quite frankly, I just don't want to, just do it. I'm gonna use my shotgun for this phase and just see where I go from here.
Does phase 2 need you to dodge like that?
Phase 2 you can dodge, but there's projectiles that you can't, so I'm just gonna block them.
Especially when the commonality is finally within our grasp. And right on time. He approaches. The survivor. Solitarius.
Where's the alpha? Just give me the goddamn antidote. I'm not gonna let her die.
Your friend. I've been watching you. You and your so-called friend. The innocent you claim to be. You've proven that you'll do just about anything to ensure your own survival.
Oh no!
I hit people pretty hard, I guess.
Hit 2 people.
Watching people die for fun, is that your protocol?
You are mistaken, Mr. Lee. Protocol isn't about death. It's about life.
That's why it kills a bunch of people.
Future lies out there. Our destiny.
I also don't remember you remember me pointing out that is just a skybox image. You could tell that's 2D.
We have to. We are to survive.
We have to Arc Survival evolved.
See why. Proof that my methods are working.
I have to prove it.
Final contest to determine the truth.
Yeah, I was in the corner. Captain Ferris with the steel chair.
It's a fucking wrestling match.
Are you ready for this line delivery again?
Yes. Oh, I love this line.
You're really a thank you.
Back away.
First I thought this was a curse, but then I realized.
My god, that line.
There's always a price to pay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared. This is my first combat counter today. Please don't.
Oh, okay. I can't hit him because he's using quick time events.
Alright, I'm just gonna let him kill me. Yeah, 3 hits in, that's a little unfortunate, but...
So is it dependent on which arm he uses, or
Yes.
what?
And he can just sometimes do... He can just sometimes do, different swings. Yes, because we were so good friends.
She told my friend that I was a bad man, and that...
I'm doing this on purpose. I'm trying to get this with no health loss, because a single hit from him...
1/3.
Point is, a single hit from him, I need to heal for second phase, and I just want to avoid that.
Which that doesn't count as any damage. Ooh.
That's just him moving me out of the corner. I don't know if you can tell that.
The throw, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Kill me.
It's really lame that he only has 2 death animations, really.
Those aren't really deaths, those are just... We couldn't perform the animation. So we, needed to do that.
Arbitrary knock your arm off.
Oh, what's that mean? Oh, come on! You were done.
What?
He's like, make it past me if you want to make it out of here alive.
Makes it sound like he was talking about earlier, though. I wonder if you can always hit him when he taunts.
Yep.
Oh,
That seems...
phase 2.
He doesn't even say those lines, even in the subtitles.
Yeah.
But no, he's very clearly not happy about what happens here, because he realizes he's not as genetically superior as he thinks he is.
Except, again, right here.
Like, right here, look. I don't think that's him saying, I guess I deserve it. It's him being like, well, this is where we're at now.
Your shield sucks, bro. Nah, I didn't think so.
That was instinct. I was trying to do the super.
This entire boss reminds me of Revelations 2 boss. I think that hit him.
Highly doubt. Alright, please stop reloading. This may be a bad time to do this, but still.
Hey, he's rolling. It's fine. You got something on your left.
Yep.
Yeah,
But I avoided it.
Yeah, I think this entire boss is ripped off from Revelations 2. Except for the shield face and the explosives. Oh.
See, that's what makes this fight actually annoying, is his projectiles. You can't avoid them, they're just there.
And they come out really fast without warning. I think you need...
Okay, come on.
Whatever.
I managed to avoid that just fine. Oh, first try! Instantly!
Much better.
Ooh, I am the alpha, unironically. Ooh, who's the Callisto protocol now?
Johnny boy.
Ferris was weak, an imperfect vessel. But in that sample is the key to unlocking a centuries-old dream. That's not failure, Mr. Lee. It's progress. And it belongs to me. No, I don't think so. Please. This is no time for false heroics. Leave the sample and walk away. There's an escape pod up there.
That is also stupid. You will get arrested.
Also, totally not gonna shoot you down.
He's the warden. He can't be killed.
I'm not talking about this big pod.
I want my sister back, fucker.
Well, that explains how he just disappeared and reappeared.
A valiant effort. But surely you know by now, I never lose.
No. This time you do.
Lol. The lighting in here is weird.
Yes, it is.
Such a waste. All this to save one life. Don't think you've stopped us. The data gathered here will carry the protocol to the next phase. As for you,
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
goodbye, Miss Nakamura. And Mr. Lee.
You don't
I do hope
want...
you enjoyed your stay at Black Iron.
Reactor core approaching critical.
This way.
You don't want the corpse of your... whatever. The body fucking vanished.
He left the battery.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he got up and survived. He's the alpha after all.
Hee hee.
Just keep going.
She's way ahead of you, bro.
Because his running speed is so bad.
You also stopped and turned around, but yeah.
I see pods.
Now we gotta, you know, do the motion capture cutscene.
We gotta do a Pacific Rim. And shove both of them in there.
You don't know what you're doing.
I didn't. But I do now. I can't keep running from what I've done.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. For everything. I do belong here.
Don't do this. Jacob! Jacob! Data transfer complete. transfer worked both ways. He learned more about me, and I learned more about him. In the chaos of the moment, I didn't realize he had also given me the evidence I was looking for all along. Sacrificed his life so that I could expose the truth.
So, how is there going to be a sequel?
Was he trying to make up for the pain he caused?
Plays her.
Or just chasing some kind of redemption?
Are you sure about that?
Why wouldn't you?
Either way,
Because,
I hope
You don't have to play as the same character to have a sequel.
because,
Jacob, there might be a way out after all.
Reactor
Lol.
4 temporary safeties activated.
I need your help.
Are you kidding me? Oh no!
But he's unmutated.
Masterpiece. Masterpiece. Cinema.
Ugh.
But I do have the trophy. And we do get Adesanya. Like, the protocol is about life.
Ugh. Yeah, this is the biggest disappointment game-wise this year.
Oh no. It just sucks that I feel like the story had no theming to it whatsoever.
Not at all.
Like, the big twist, it wasn't even what I thought it was, where it's like, oh, you might be a human trafficker or something, you know? It was, I did a thing, and then I knew about it slightly, but I didn't know what it caused. And to be fair, you can write something on that. Like, you know, if you delivered something that ended up destroying, you know, a planet or a city, you might feel bad about that.
I don't know about it, but I did. But we.
Also, we could have just proved it to each other right then and there. This feels like Destiny, where I feel like the people who make the set are doing their job, and the people who are making the combat do their job, and then the people who are, like, doing the acting and the scenes are doing their job. It's just the story. The story is so jumbled. In fact, I even went back to the original trailer, the first cinematic reveal you get of the prisoner in that cell.
Mm-hmm.
The ship that crashes on the planet actually lands at the tower. So clearly there was a change at that point. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so delicious.
There's so much wasted potential here. It's kind of infuriating.
The funny thing about it too is, like, I feel
And
like
I don't know who to blame, because I don't think I should blame Schofield. It probably isn't his fault. But then whose fault is it? The crunch? Is it the company? Was it, well, we wanted to get a game out fast, or we were going to get it out later, but oh no, Dead Space?
yeah, which is funny because I feel like if they just delayed the game a year, they could be really good.
That's the same thing with so many other games.
But people will get upset about it. But I'm now like, no, I don't care anymore. Just delay the game.
Just delay it, please.
Aliens
I know that will never happen to Pokemon anymore because it's gonna curse itself into a perpetual existence like that. But any other game studio, that's less of an excuse. Pokemon has to do the Pokemon thing, or at least on a schedule for some fucking reason. But this could have waited.
You know, it can also feel like that this game really had problems realizing itself. Once again, there's a video out there just called how the combat was mastered and perfected months before release, and I'm like, that is a bold claim. That is a really bold claim.
Clearly not the case.
It's still really good. If this is an indie game, it wins full awards, but it's like...
Good, but the game doesn't have you bother trying to dodge correctly until the one boss fight.
Yes. And that is because of the fact that the enemies are mostly the same size as you. And unlike, something like The Witcher or, any of the Souls games, the camera is right behind your shoulder because RE4. And I think the worst part about it is, once again, the theming of this game. I had a really good theory where this was going to go, which was a story about humanity and questioning yourself, and that's what it's trying to do.
But it isn't.
For example, he's like, why did the warden want you alive? We still haven't gotten an
We
answer
still
on
don't
that.
have an idea.
Like,
Other than you're the guy who caused this, but that doesn't make any sense. You should just be any other Joe Schmo.
there's always a price to pay, Sam. There's always a price.
Did anyone else ever say that?
Yeah, just him, the captain guy. It's just because, like, so here's the thing, right? We are put in a prison setting, but we aren't even a prisoner. We don't get to experience that at all because that's boring, right? It'd be boring to be actually sucked into the world that's made,
I
That's-
mean, the only other game that I could think of that's really part of a prison setting is The Suffering. And that doesn't do that either.
I mean, but the difference is that's like you get pulled into the setting, and I get the feeling, and this is me not even knowing what game you're talking about. I get the feeling that's a game where you get pulled into the setting and it makes you feel like a prisoner, even if you aren't. Right?
Yes.
This
It's a horror game that's set in a prison. It's very similar to this. Bad shit comes out. Weird, horrific zombie things are murdering everybody. And you have to escape. And I think either you're wrongly convicted or you were convicted doing a horrible thing as revenge or something.
I guess, what else do I have to say? Once again, the theming. The whole idea of being, like, trying to be turned into a better person, or, like, this prison trying to force you to change, being abandoned for, ooh woo, we can't go into space fish, had no build-up whatsoever. The plot twist was it was to create a more space-bearing human, but it didn't make any sense. Doesn't work. There's no theming to this game that builds up to that.
Nope.
Like,
This game has zero theming.
for example, let's talk about
It has ideas that don't go anywhere.
let's talk about the Flame of Frenzy from Elden Ring. How do you discover the Flame of Frenzy, technically? Oh, you experience a dark story where a man's daughter gets murdered, and then he turns into a crazy person. As well as a man who hunts down bad people, but then falls to despair when a person he highly respects, loses to that. That's the theme. And then when you keep seeing the suffering in Elden Ring, you're like, yeah, I feel it. Here, I don't feel anything. I feel a stick in a skull. That's all I feel. I shoved a guy in a wood chipper. But,
A few times.
this is the first Callisto type game. I think it deserves it deserves some recognition, I do think there's a system here that works. It just needs polishing, it needs time, just has to work. Also, unfortunately, my family are staying for Christmas because grandfather fell and he hasn't been the same since, so I probably won't be able to do anything super loud vocally, but
You need, next week or next possible time you can, you need to come over and we need to discuss what you need to get for 3DS.
in true, for sure.
BTW, if you're getting it yourself, do yourself a favor and get the new 3DS XL.
The XL?
That has the new, that's part of the title of the console, the new 3DS XL. Because it has a lot more space than the OG. It runs better and it has more options on the eShop.
Yeah. I just need to get Dead Space first. That's all I need. Also, I guess another thing is, I'm looking at this game that's coming out, and a lot of people are, like, being like, whoa, look at the star cast on this team, and I'm like, what did they do? What did they do? That is no longer a selling point in 2022 to almost 2023. Your actors need to act. And while I think they do a good job of that, the story gives them nothing to work with. So they are just left floundering around like fish.
Well, this is why you have games like Death Stranding that does have a actual,
I mean, you say that, but Guillermo del Toro is literally being played by someone else.
I meant for the main character.
Also, Norman Reedus mostly is quiet the whole time. That's kind of the point.
I don't know, facial acting. I know it's not real, but it still looks like him.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus hang out like casually outside of the game, means that he has an understanding of what his director wants and whatnot. What I think I might do.
It feels like I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No problem.
In Death Stranding's case, it's not like, oh, we put Norman Reedus in it because we think he's cool, or because we think it'll make money. It's like, I like this actor and the things he does. I want him in my thing because I'm Hideo Kojima and I make movie games.
Yeah, but that's Hideo Kojima.
Yes, that's why I think it works for him. And other games that use actors like that, I don't like. Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls used Ellen Page at the time. Ellen Page because I like Ellen Page. Look, I have all these photos of her.
And
Ellen Page wants to be in my game.
And she's gay, and I'm a friend of a gay person, I swear.
That's hot.
Alright, so would you like to hear about the game that I would write if I was in charge of this and or starring in it?
Sure.
First of all, you land on the planet, right? You're in there for months, like half a year at most. You're there to get the experience, but you're not like a full prisoner. And the tutorial is what I thought it would be in this game, is a prison fight, like a fight in the lunchroom or sort of deal, that sort of thing.
So does the game open the same way? You get imprisoned for no real reason after crashing, or is it different?
Yeah, it's open the same way.
Okay.
Once again, I think the problem with the warden in this game is the same problem that's with the rest of this game, is they have to constantly talk up everything that's happening. If you boil down the warden to bare bones stuff, I can totally see the validity of the Callisto protocol, I could see, because the whole deal happens because of an accident. He sees, like, progress there, and he's like, I can do the same thing. And it's in a prison where he can cover it up. That makes sense. That's good. That works. Either way, though, we do that, we have our prison whole deal, and you'll want to know what I want the most out of the character, or if I was playing him?
Yeah.
When he fights, he gets feral. As in, he growls, he, really gets into hitting people. It's not just, I am here to survive, it is, I am angry at you that you are threatening to take my life away. Because, I don't know if you can tell, the whole...
It's all about survival and being able to survive. And you show the desperation in it, right?
Yeah. In fact, just trying to think about it. The whole narrative is supposed to be a meta-narrative on the whole point of survival horror games, but, you don't do anything morally reprehensible that no one else would have done. Except...
The game acts like you do.
You literally just do your job. And I mean, sure, you do it for money, but you don't ever get the implication that what you did is bad, other than Max, who says otherwise. And even then, the conversation is so actually short, it's questionable as to whether or not that's a good enough lead-on. It just isn't. Other than that, though, just make the main character do stuff, What I would also like, and this is just me, I envision something...
He never even acts like an amoral person. He's just like, no man, we're doing normal things. It's totally fine and normal.
Now, I want you to imagine this, and this is the thing that I would have done, which is, what if you had Elias, right? And Elias is your friend, but, either he does something or he wants something that conflicts with your self-interest. and what it ends up revolving on is you and him throwing down outside in the snow, and then biophages occasionally interfere, and you guys might have to temporarily team up with him, but then you eventually have to brutally murder him, you know? The player, not just the character, the player needs to do something to feel guilty.
Yeah.
There needs to be consequence. Like, in Last of Us...
Elias, while a nice character, for what the game's theme wants to be, he's too nice.
He's too nice. And I mean, no. Actually, no. I don't agree with that.
You think?
I think Elias is a good character.
Yeah.
So I just found out. Fuck, that sucks. What the fuck?
But then there's no conflict with him in the main character.
Yeah. There. Well, I mean,
So.
it's Captain Ferris though. Captain Ferris is which is okay. So another thing.
He's an enemy that you encountered 3 times total.
Okay, another thing I remember saying, but, you know, I'm going to reiterate here. Part of the appeal of a setting like this is being at the mercy of other people. You know? In real life, there are prisons that just suck. And it's like, you know, why? You could just... Point is, there is a warden and he's watching you, but that's all he's doing. He's not interfering, he's not, like... Okay, he interfered the one time.
One time.
And that's it. And it's just not interesting.
There's barely any people here at all, and usually that is something to look forward to in one of these games.
All in all, despite my problems with this game, I still like it. And I would like to... I am actually interested to play the DLC that comes out after this, because that's usually when, like, people, whoever fuck up, get their shit together, you know? But what I hope happens is the people behind this game get the rest they need first. Because right now, I am not interested in playing this game to get the collectibles until that New Game Plus comes out. I want to know that my stuff matters. And they better give me a checkpoint after the boss fight, so that way I can just hop in and have all my stuff, and that'll be fun and cool. But, I don't know. I'll be interested in doing that. I don't know if I'll do the new difficulty that comes out afterwards. This game was pretty hard enough as it was. It really got hard at the last level for sure. It definitely threw a lot of stuff at you.
Yeah.
Also, I guess another thing that the internet has misled me on is Two-Face. Just being a boss that's reused, even though the other survival horror games out there do the same thing. It's not really that big of a sin.
No, but my problem with Two Head is that he's presented as a boss. Oh, no. What do I have an actual problem with Two Head? I think he's a little bit too common. Where he shows up halfway or over halfway, and then you fight him every half hour. It feels like when the big ass ones in Dead Space show up. I feel like the armored ones in the front, the tanks, whatever they're called. I feel like they're used a bit more sparingly, but I could be wrong. But I don't know, something about that fight feels a lot more cinematic and important whenever it happens. And since there's only 4 total of them in the game, I don't know. Feels like it just should have been the one time on the driller, and then that was it. Because doing it multiple times makes it less interesting, and that's why people get annoyed that you fight him multiple times in seemingly rapid succession.
I will say, once again, I do enjoy this game. And I'm very interested to see the Horde mode that comes out, because they are promising that on Season Pass. And I think that will be fun. In fact, I think making the game playable without dialogue is just a really smart move on their part. Just being able to enjoy the game's combat divorced of the story. There is some YouTubers who have a good point, which is I feel like the Callisto Protocol, because it is a new game, does a lot of stuff that old horror games do that they don't get flack for because they're old, but the new thing is, you know, Because it's
What
new.
part? What thing exactly?
I don't remember.
That's important to bring. That's important.
Having a limited inventory space for one. Dead Space does the exact same thing, and it's not that much different.
The big difference is that limited inventory space is usually set off by the fact that you could put it somewhere.
In Dead Space, you have to sell it though.
Or put it in the storage area to keep for later.
What storage area?
Every store has a storage. Every store has access to the storage unit that you put stuff in that you don't want to use but don't want to sell. Yeah, that's a thing.
I don't remember.
It is. Resident Evil item box.
So, Sam,
Yeah,
your turn to review this game. What did you think? What was your experience with the Callisto Protocol?
it's too short for one. It's too short. It's unfocused. I assume you're there. You're just muted.
Doesn't mean I'm not here.
All right. Yeah, it's too short. It's got a lot of aspects missing from a game trying to be a Dead Space successor and surpasser that Dead Space had that it just flat out ignores exist. It has things that Dead Space have, but half-assed it. This feels like a game that came out after Dead Space to capitalize on Dead Space.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Either way. Um, I guess one thing I'll ask is at some point, because here's the thing that's still baffling.
Also, fuck you, new experience. Fuck off.
New experience.
Just say new game. It's a load game. God.
Okay. So, two things. One is, I suppose, one thing we can do is I would like to check out the Helplessness and Humanity video because I think it's funny in retrospect now. Plus, I feel like the scene where he shows up as Roids is great in his take, but they cut it. I feel like there were takes that they did that were better and they cut them, and I don't know why.
Alright, let me go to YouTube. What's this Callisto trailer called again?